Hi there, this is Solitaire Ronan from Solitaire Ronan Films, and welcome to another random review. And today's random review, we go back to the year 2000 for Chan-Wook Park's third feature film, JSA, or Joint Security Area. This is the Nova Media Blu-ray release, which is Region A. This has the film, which is always a help. It has a 54-minute documentary and cast and crew interviews, and this is an absolutely fantastic film that I would highly recommend you checking it out. It's based on the border between North and South Korea and the soldiers who guard it. They actually recreated it in the studio, and apparently it's the set still in the studio. It's the story of a shooting that takes place in the North Korean outpost, where it looks as though a South Korean soldier has went into the north side and killed 2 North Korean guards. But it's not quite as it seems. There's a certain amount of Rashomon to it as far as what actually happened, and who knows what happens. There is a neutral investigator played by Yeong-ae Lee, who comes in with the Swiss and the Swedish as a neutral investigator, and she tries and pieces together from the soldier accused of doing the killing on the south side, played by Bying-Hun Lee, and one of the survivors from the north side, played by Kang-Ho. And of course, Byung-Hun Lee and Kang-Ho are huge Korean stars, and you can kind of see, even in this early film, why they are, because they're just fantastic, as is Yeong-ae Lee as well. This is a film that is arguably, for me, my favourite Chan-Wook Park film, because it's got so much heart in it, even though it's tragic as well. You really care about these people, and in the end it's actually quite a moving film, and the last lingering images of the film are really quite moving. I'm not going to go into spoilers, but obviously things haven't or didn't happen the way we think they did. There's a really nice device of a flashback that actually lasts quite a long time, but we don't really think we're necessarily in somebody's flashback until we come out of it. It's very nicely done. A brief kind of generalistic history of it was after the Korean War, and there was prisoners of war in camps. They were given the choice whether to go back to the north side for communism or the south side for capitalism. But there was a group of people, or a group of prisoners, who didn't want to go to either, so they were sent around the globe. But bizarrely, Switzerland and Sweden, who were theoretically the 2 neutral countries, they actually turned people away, so they ended up going to like South America and things like that. So that kind of gives you the overview of why Switzerland and Sweden are kind of the neutral investigator in this matter. Yeah, like I said in the extras, there's like a 54-minute documentary pretty much about the background of this security area and how it came to be, and how Switzerland and Sweden came to be the kind of neutral investigative force in this issue. The film itself is absolutely beautiful. The Blu-ray by Nova Media, the print's gorgeous, even though I'm sure you can get it in region B releases as well. At the start, it's a little bit confusing, to figure out who's who and why this investigative force is involved, but it does kind of settle down to a little bit less exposition, and once you're actually into the film, you're just kind of drawn in by the characters. It's a film about friendship and loyalty, and whether enemies can actually be friends or not, or whether there'll always be a point where politics and idealism get in the way of human interaction. There's also enough action and violence to keep people interested who are into those kind of things. Excuse me. But it's actually more about human interactions. All too often we don't really see soldiers or the military as real people. At some point a character says you need to stop making nuclear bombs, and another character says, well, I don't make them. Again, it's just that this is my job, and it happens to be being on the border. The film is about 110 minutes, but it actually flies by, because again, you just get invested in the characters. Bying-Hun Lee, you can see that he's a star. And obviously he would be in fantastic Korean films like A Bittersweet Life and I Saw the Devil. Sadly, he's been in a couple of Hollywood films that were dreadful. But it's, without going into detail of what happens, which I really can't for spoiler purposes, but if you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. There's so many great little moments, kind of the differences in ideology between the North and the South, and how the South, always gets these Yankee items like cookies and lighters and things like that, and from the North side there is a kind of element of, I would quite like chocolate filled cookies, but we are still on the right. It's such a good film, and for me it is actually possibly Chan-Wook Park's best. Everybody talks about Old Boy and The Handmaid's Tale and the whole kind of Vengeance trilogy, but I think this one has the most heart in it. This one is certainly, I think, the most moving. and it's about characters that you really are invested in, even though they are soldiers, and they're at the simple notice they'll start killing each other. So thank you very much for watching this fairly rambling random review, but I just thought I had to share this film's excellence with you. I'm gonna have to watch it again relatively soon, but I was just blown away by it. It's such an assured film for his third feature, brilliantly acted, looks absolutely beautiful, and it's about something that's very, very important and obviously still relevant 20 years later. So let me know in the comments below whether you've seen JSA, what you think of it, and what's your favourite Chan-Wook Park film, and hopefully we'll see you again. This is Solitude Ronin saying thank you very much for watching, and farewell.